Today, we're not hiking trails or decoding poems. We're flipping the book over. What book? Beyond the Map's Edge. Because the biggest clue might have been hidden in plain sight on the cover. When you search what's hidden in plain sight, Beyond the Map's Edge online, something interesting happens. You find Reddit threads, blog posts, YouTube freeze frames, and they're all pointing at the same thing. The cover of the book is a clue, not just decoration, not just design. First, let's talk shape. That jagged, torn opening in the mountains, it's not random. Treasure hunters believe it mirrors the shape of real river canyons, possibly the Yellowstone River, possibly 9 Mile Hole. Some even think it resembles sections of the Missouri Breaks in Montana. And when you trace the cover art against a satellite map, the outlines line up. Next, the edge of the cover. That scorched border, it's not just dramatic flair. Look close enough, and you'll see glyphs, faint symbols, possibly inspired by alchemical markings, native petroglyphs, or even Posey's own cipher system. These aren't just for show. Some think they're directional indicators. Others, coordinate hints. Either way, they're definitely intentional. And then there's the back. In the acknowledgments, Posey writes, "The best treasures hide in plain sight, sometimes between the lines of an acknowledgments page." What's between those lines? A black and white image of a river bend and a location name, 9 Mile Hole. If you don't know, 9 Mile Hole is a real place in Yellowstone National Park, a location that's come up multiple times across the book's clues. So what is hidden in plain sight? Maybe the map, maybe a shape, maybe a reminder that sometimes the answer isn't deeper in the woods. It's on the front page. You just have to look close enough. Some covers you read. This one reads you. Let me tell you what I saw. I looked at the cover of Beyond the Map's Edge, really looked. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. A bearded man carved in shadow, worn, weathered, watching. Then the bear, massive, unmoving, with twin mountain peaks for ears. And late one night, I flipped the book upside down, and there it was, a fox, quiet, mirrored, hiding beneath the same features as the bear. Two creatures, one shadow. There's something uncanny about it, like a painting that stares back. In the center, the very middle of the book, it just pulls you in. A path, a cut, a trail, like a waterfall rushing downward, like gravity, like a siren song. Even the M in map, it disappears, slips behind the bear, almost like it's hiding something. So what does it all mean? Why the faces? Why the trail? Why the fox and the bear? Some say the bear is strength, the fox is cunning. Others believe they represent guardians of the path, maybe even gatekeepers. And that trail down the middle, it's not just a path, it's an invitation. Maybe Posey didn't just give us a story. Maybe he gave us a map, one that begins not on page 1, but on the cover, in shadows, in faces, in symbols we can only see when we stop looking and start seeing. The bear, the fox, the face in the rocks, the trail, the M, the fall. Something's waiting just beyond the map's edge. You've caught it. That jagged tear in the mountains? It's not abstract art. It's a real river. Fans discovered that the central tear mirrors real-world river footprints. Look closely. It lines up with the Big Hole River watershed in southwest Montana. That silhouette isn't random. It matches tributaries, bends and flows of a recognizable canyon system. See those smaller arms at top? They echo the tributaries on the upper watershed map. The wider basin near the bottom? That's the river's mouth or main valley corridor. It's as if Posey lifted the watershed outline, ripped it out, and made it art. The jagged peaks framing the tear aren't generic mountains. They match ridgelines in the Maverick Mountains region, just east of the river. That geometry aligns so precisely it's not chance. Notice how one bend on the cover slants right, then curves left. That's no artistic whim. It matches a sharp bend along the Big Hole. Compared to satellite imagery of Fish Trap Canyon, the angles are near identical. That's too specific to ignore. Mysterious Writings bloggers even overlaid the cover onto the watershed map, and the alignment was striking. The mouth of the river sits exactly where the tear widens. The tributary fingers align almost perfectly. The outline is similar to the Big Hole River watershed map, southwest Montana. What is huge is the fact the cover shows a river flowing. Okay, geography nerds, this is real mapping. Why Big Hole? Because it ticks a treasure hunter's checklist. Remote, rugged, historical, scenic. This region has legacy. Gold rush history, fishing spots, canyon walls carved over millennia. And Posey has family roots in Montana, tying personal narrative to place. So what does it mean? The tear isn't random. It's a geographic silhouette. It represents real terrain, likely in southwest Montana. It points us to specific canyons, Big Hole, Beaverhead, Fish Trap. In our next episode, we dive deeper. What if those tiny glyphs along the tear are coordinate markers? And the trail beckoning from cover to back? Could it be a literal footpath? The river leads the way, but the treasure hides further downstream. Follow the flow, stay close to the water. Beneath the rip and burn of the cover lies something more. Tiny symbols, ancient runes, markers that whisper secrets. Fans have spotted glyph-like marks woven into the border's blackened edge. Some call them runes, others symbolic coordinates. One Facebook sleuth identified a specific symbol they called angzar, meaning azimuth, a navigation angle. Imagine this, the exact tool used by explorers to measure true direction, etched into the cover. Every glyph could mark a bearing or waypoint. But that's not all. Look closely, and you'll notice tiny stacked stone markers, cairns. These appear repeatedly along the border's edge. Cairns are universal trail markers, often used in mountainous terrain to guide travelers. And here, by the maps, a subtle D. Could it stand for deposit, Dillon, or even descent? Or is it a marker labeling the first of several hidden coordinates? Zoom further. Some viewers swear they spot female, Venus symbols, circles with small tails. Could these represent springs, water sources, or spiritual femininity tied to the landscape? Between jagged scorches, letters appear to form OF. Maybe shorthand for of, as in map's edge of, or a fragment of a larger phrase meant to be pieced together. What looks like decorative burn marks are possibly a covert alchemical map, carved into the cover, leading seekers along Posey's intended trail. The border isn't just a frame, it's a guide. Next time you hold it, trace the glyphs, follow the cairns, see where D leads, and ask yourself, are you following the map or being mapped? When early Spanish explorers mapped the Americas, they didn't use modern coordinates. They used symbols, coded, cryptic, and designed to protect gold, mines, and missions. And when you study those old Spanish maps, you'll notice something eerie. Some of those same symbols look a lot like what's burned into the cover of Beyond the Map's Edge. Spanish mining symbols, triangle or M-shaped marks, chiaquas mine entrances, crossed pickaxes, chakram active mine dots or circles, and gold vein or location marker, female symbol, water source or sacred site, 3 dots in a triangle, hidden cache, small stacked shapes, rock cairns or travel path. The triangle shape and M hidden behind the bear on the cover, that's one of the oldest symbols for a buried mine, especially in Spanish mapping. And this D near the word maps, could that be shorthand for deposito? Spanish for deposit, where mined gold or silver was stored temporarily. These letters were often carved in stone or scratched into old treasure maps to mark either a mine entrance or the deposit vault. Again, don't go in any mines or near Posey family mining claims. Possibly the D is simply Dillon or another city. Now let's talk about the female glyphs faintly seen on the border. In Spanish map codes, the female symbol didn't always refer to a woman. It often marked water sources like springs or wells, or more mysteriously, places considered sacred or blessed. Think mission ruins, chapels, or even places protected by spiritual guardians. On Posey's cover, they could be marking purification points, a symbolic or literal refresh before reaching the treasure. Cairn, small stacks of rocks, were universally used by Spanish surveyors to mark pathways, turning points, and buried locations. Some cairns contained hidden items beneath them. Others acted as alignments for celestial events. On the cover, those subtle cairn shapes in the border might mark a progression or ritual pathway toward the final spot. Spanish map symbols are notoriously layered. You don't read them, you decode them. And that's exactly what Beyond the Map's Edge seems to invite us to do. Las riquezas no están a la vista, pero las marcas no mienten. Riches aren't in plain view, but the marks never lie. Most treasure hunters flip through the back of a book quickly. But here, in the acknowledgments, lies the real treasure. There it is in black and white. The best treasures hide in plain sight, sometimes between the lines of an acknowledgments page. That line isn't just a flourish, it's an invitation. And right between those lines, a black and white photo, a rugged rock formation labeled 9 Mile Hole. On page 22, there's a picture of the 9 Mile Hole rock between two acknowledgement paragraphs. A treasure nestled in the words, surrounded by a photo. A clue boldly lurking under our noses. What is 9 Mile Hole? It's a real location near the Madison River's bend, on the western edge of Yellowstone country. Landscape known for hidden canyons, tucked-away camping spots, and yes, dog-friendly access areas. That access note cracks open a logistical clue. Posey mentioned in interviews the hunt is dog-friendly. Yellowstone proper, often restricted. But this location, open. Reddit users point out that the rock photo even hides a faint chest, a nod to Forrest Fenn's famous find. One fan writes, it also has FF's treasure chest in it, hence the line about hiding in plain sight. Why that spot? The photo sits exactly between two paragraphs. Pure placement prayer. It's a visual flag. Look here. Hidden literally between the lines, like the treasure. Let's decode this. The quote prompts scrutiny. The photo isolates 9 Mile Hole. The placement reinforces intentionality. 9 Mile Hole isn't random. It's been whispered across fan sites as a potential central clue in this hunt. Picture the terrain. Rocky outcrops, accessible shores, hidden gullies. Cozy enough for treasure, open enough for visitors and their dogs. So what's hiding on that back page? A direct echo of Posey's words. Treasure is hidden there. It's 9 Mile Hole. It's amid accessible, dog-friendly terrain. Now the question, is posing at 9 Mile Hole enough, or is it the gateway to what lies beyond? Join us next time, when we overlay that photo onto satellite maps to see if the rock, the river, the reflections align. Until then, keep your eyes on the back, because for Posey, the real map may just be between the lines. So, what do you think? Did Posey hide a map in plain sight? A river in the tear? A mine behind the bear? Glyphs, cairns, compass marks, and maybe even a chest tucked right between the lines of the acknowledgments. I've shared what I've seen, but now I want to hear from you. What have you found on the cover of Beyond the Map's Edge? A face in the rocks? A fox in the shadows? A message hiding in the mountains? Drop your theories in the comments below or post in the book club forum. The rest of this deep dive and more breakdowns are available now in the book club members-only video section. Head there now and let's keep unraveling the mystery together.